Good afternoon. My name is Alex Huang, and I am conducting this interview on behalf of the Veterans Heritage Project, also known as the Imprint of Honor, at Hamilton High School in Chandler, Arizona. I'm interviewing Elmer Lee Mayberry on 11th November 2024 at the Gardens of Ocotillo Senior Living. It's also Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day, Lee.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you for your service to our country. Since I've worked as a restaurant server at the Gardens, I've had the opportunity to get to know Lee, who is one of the most entertaining people I've ever met. Also present with us is Adria, my manager at the Gardens. This interview is being conducted for the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress. Lee, can you tell us your full name and place and date of birth?
Elmer L. Mayberry, Jr., and my place of birth was Fallas, Oklahoma.
And when were you born?
2/26/34.
2/26/34. Awesome. And what branch of service and your highest rank were you in the military?
I was ROTC out at Langston University, but I went into I dropped out and I got drafted, so I joined the Air Force. With no thought of doing 4 years, but I wound up doing 22.
That's life.
Because I liked it and I went everywhere. I went to England, Germany, France, Japan, Thailand, Vietnam. So I got to see the world that I read about.
Awesome. And what rank were you? What was your highest rank?
Master Sergeant.
That's awesome. And what was the war or conflicts that you served in?
The Vietnam War was
Vietnam.
only one year.
Awesome. So we would first like to get to know you and your family growing up and how this led to you going into service. So tell me a little bit about your family, like your parents and your siblings. Did you have any siblings?
Thank you. I had 8 brothers and sisters.
8. Wow.
Yeah. And all of my sisters are school teachers. And we laugh about that all the time because they don't make no money. But my oldest brother is dead, my oldest sister is dead. But other than that, the rest of us are still alive. I'm the oldest now.
So you were born in
1934.
1934.
Yeah.
So you're 90 this year.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Looking healthy, looking handsome.
Well, I am. I think it's part of my life. You know, I boxed. I toured the world boxing, so I think that had a lot to do with it.
Staying active, right? Staying active and staying healthy.
Oh yeah, because I ran every morning 4 or 5 miles, and I think that had a lot to do with who I am today.
And also your laugh, like laughter is really.
Well, that's true too.
Right. All right. So you grew up in, you said rural Oklahoma, right?
Grew up in Oklahoma, yes.
Yep. And what was it like growing up? Were you a good student?
Oh yeah. I went to Langston University after I graduated from high school. Went to Langston University, which is an all-black college, and most people don't know where it is, but that's where the Globetrotters started.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't finish there because I dropped out of they had ROTC and it was infantry ROTC, and I didn't want to go under the infantry. So I joined the Air Force, and like I said, they wanted to drop you out of school if you didn't belong to the Armed Services or the ROTC. So I joined the Air Force. That's why I joined the Air Force.
And that's awesome. Thank you for that. Backtracking a little bit, you've told me before how, as a kid, you got polio once. Tell me about that story.
Yeah, I had polio, wasn't supposed to walk, and I refused to accept that. And I got up every night. My mom didn't even know it, but I ran. I walked and ran. Then I became a world-class boxer in addition to that. So
yeah, I remember you said who were some of your heroes?
I'm sorry.
Some of your heroes, you said
Oh,
baseball,
well, I
baseball.
was a sparring partner for Sonny Liston, the heavyweight champ of the world.
Yeah. And you said you couldn't play baseball or box if you couldn't walk, right?
Well, no, I couldn't do any of that.
Yeah.
I refused to wear braces. They put braces on and I nope. Because Jackie Robinson was my hero and Joe Louis. And I wanted to be one of those two. And I refused. I said, if you put braces on me, I know I can't do either one of those.
No, so you just...
So I got up and walked every night. Nobody knew it.
And what happened at the doctor's?
Well, the doctor was just amazed because he hit my, well, see, I thought I wasn't supposed to walk. I thought I was doing something wrong.
He said you weren't ever gonna walk again, right?
Well, that's what they
Yeah,
said.
that's what they said.
And, you know, he would hit my leg and my leg would jump out. You know, he was talking to my mom. I was 12 years old. He was talking to my mom. He said, you know, I think this boy can walk. Grabbed by one arm and I grabbed by the other. I said, I don't need no help. And I'll never forget that my mom didn't know it. And she screamed to the top of her voice when I got up and walked.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, she didn't. I thought I was doing something wrong. I was 12 years old. I thought I was doing something wrong by walking. But I did every night.
Oh, is that pretty? All those pretty leaves.
Every night, when everybody else was asleep, I got up and walked. And because Jackie Robinson had just broke the color barrier,
Yeah.
that was my hero, and Joe Louis.
And you wanted to do that too, right? You
I
wanted to
well,
play baseball and
I
box.
wanted to play baseball, and I wanted to be a world-class boxer. And that was my heroes. And Sugar Ray Robinson, I include him in that too. He was a welterweight champ, and Joe Louis was the heavyweight champ, and Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. So those are some of my superheroes that I wanted to be like. And they told me that I was ROTC out at Langston University, and they told me that well, you ain't gonna ever go in the military.
Thank you for
And back then, you could lie
Really? Could
on the interview. Have you ever had? No.
Didn't even finish the question. No. All right, that actually brings me to my next question. So, in college, how was your experience at Langston?
Oh, at Langston? Oh,
Lucy.
it was great. I don't know whether you know this or not, but that's where the Globetrotters started.
Oh yeah.
Where I went to school. The Cudjoe twins, one of them was my high school coach.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. Did you play a basketball?
No, I never played basketball. But I played football and boxed, but I never played basketball. I don't know, it just, you wonder about why I didn't, because I was very involved with one of the Cudjoe twins, one of the Globetrotters. He was my high school basketball coach, and I used to drive his car, he had a Lincoln. I used to drive the Lincoln around all the time.
Well, that must have felt nice.
Yeah, well, for some reason, he trusted me and he liked me, so. But I never wanted to play basketball. Football I played high school and college football, and I toured the world boxing. So, but those are my sports. I didn't want to play no damn basketball. I like to watch it. Still do.
Oh, you still watch. You're a Thunders fan, right?
Yeah, I'm a season ticket holder for the Phoenix Suns. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, that's why I came here.
Oh, really?
Because I was in the Air Force in Wyoming and Colorado, and they says, "Where do you want to go?" Well, I was going to recruiting service.
Yeah.
Being a recruiter, so where do you want to go? I said, Arizona.
What options did they give you? Because I remember you told me.
Oh, well, I had, I could pretty much go any place in America.
Yeah. But you lived in Arizona?
I chose, because you know, I was interracial. My wife was white, and there was very few places in America we could go.
Oh, I remember. I learned about that in school. There was like a court case, right?
Yeah.
It was like Loving versus Virginia.
Yeah.
And then that legalized interracial marriage.
Well, that's still even today. There's places in America that I wouldn't want to go. You know, I was one of my first assignments in the Air Force was Shreveport, Louisiana, and my roommate was white. Paul Harkins was his name, and he had a big mouth, and we couldn't go downtown and have a beer together.
Really?
Because he was white and I was black. Yeah.
That actually brings me to my next question. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. If you want, do you want to show something?
Well, I was just show it.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
That's a picture of my wife there.
Do you want to? Can you kind of hold it up for the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
That's a picture of her. She was Miss Missouri.
Miss Missouri, wow. Wow, you were quite the. You had quite the charisma.
Yeah. Oh, she, like I said, everyone thought that I was going to be I retired in the United States Air Force as a math sergeant, but they thought I was going to be a famous boxer and a baseball player, because I do both of them.
That brings me to my next question. When you mentioned like the racial discrimination, so back when you joined the Air Force, it was around the 50s?
52.
52.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and around there, like we learned in school, like Jim Crow was still around during that time. Did you?
Still is.
Yeah.
It ain't as bad.
It's not as bad, but sometimes, yeah. Did you experience any like racial discrimination?
Oh, absolutely.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Think about it. My wife was white and she was pretty.
This was before your wife, right? When you first joined the Air Force.
I met my wife right after. Well, let's see. I think I met her. I was married. Well, no, I wasn't. I was married in 54 and went in 50. Yeah. It was close to the same time.
Oh, okay. So tell me about it.
Yeah,
How was like the discrimination, the racial?
See, my wife was Miss Missouri, and she was very pretty, and most people couldn't understand or handle why she married me. You know, I was boxing champ, but you know, was amateur boxing champ.
I've seen those pictures. You were good looking back then.
Yeah.
Still good looking.
Yeah.
Still good looking.
No, I was
looking back in the day too.
It was just, you know, I had no intentions of marrying, and she was Miss Missouri, and I had no, and I met her. Well, her girlfriends brought her to one of my fights, and they told me they was going to bring her, and so we're going to bring this little blonde to your fights. And I was in the ring warming up, and one of my friends said, "This is her, this is," and I did like this, and she said, "Yeah." She didn't like boxing.
So what'd you do after?
Huh?
You decided to chase her?
Well, yeah. Well, she got learned to like her after she met me,
After she saw you box.
Well, yeah, because she didn't want to see me get beat up, and she didn't want to have a friend to get beat up. So that's why she didn't like it. But when she met me, I won.
Yeah, keep going. You're good.
I won a lot of fights, so she was okay. Oh.
She liked watching you win.
Oh, she didn't mind it. But what she didn't like about it was people getting beat up and knocked out. And she never seen me get beat up and knocked out. Yeah, I had a tremendous record. And I worked out with the heavyweight champ of the world.
Oh, yeah.
St. Liston, so.
I remember. So, I kind of want to focus on when you were in the Air Force, like the racial discrimination, like in the Air Force. So how was that?
Well,
any experiences that stood out?
It was, especially for me, it wasn't bad. was number one, I was a boxer, and I was all Air Force boxing champ. So it wasn't really bad for me, and of course, then my wife being white, we had problems with that. Especially, see, I couldn't go south.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't go to Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, none of those. Air Force restricted that because of my interracial marriage.
Oh, so they like
Oh, they
accommodated
they
that.
helped me out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Of them.
Well, it was good, because I went to Colorado, California, Oregon. This is the only places I could go. and I liked that, because I didn't want to go to, because I was originally, when I went to the Air Force, I went to Mississippi and Louisiana. And that's when the Air Force integrated the dump. Well, the Air Force was pretty much new. And they integrated the dormitories. My roommate was white.
You guys couldn't go get a beer together.
No, we couldn't. His name, and he had a big mouth. He was from California. And he never experienced that. And we'd go downtown and they put both of us in jail.
That's crazy. I can't believe. Like,
Well, yeah, well, you're looking back, I can't either.
like you said, there's like still some discrimination to it, but it's much better than what was before. Like
Oh,
I can't
well, I'm
imagine going down with somebody and then just getting.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I say, I'm sure nobody cares now if you got some money, but back then, you know, it really wasn't. I don't remember it being. We never got hit, put in jail. Well, we did go to jail a couple times, but I'm not sure it was racial. We probably did something stupid, but we were young, and then of course, then my wife, she was Miss Missouri, and people, a lot of people, especially I'm from Oklahoma, and there's a lot of people didn't believe that she was my wife. Yeah, you ain't married to him. And my wife would say, yes, I am, and he's a all-American boxer, and he would kick your ass. And I wouldn't even know she said it, right? I walked in, hey! And see, I used to DJ.
You used to DJ.
Yeah.
Really? Tell me
Yeah.
about that. I did not know that.
Oh yeah, I DJ'd in the Air Force and as a civilian and in Colorado, Denver. And I had big radio shows. So yeah, I had, and especially in the Air Force. So it was just awesome because we had it was free, but I had turn-away crowds. I had Saturday night jam session and Sunday evening jam session, and we'd fill the club up every
Wow.
yeah.
I did not know that. I've known you for a while, and I did not know you were
Yeah.
DJ.
Oh yeah.
You gotta give me some tricks, some tips.
Yeah. Oh well, it's like I said. I tell people this all the time. It wasn't hard for me because all I'd say, I'd have a couple of jokes or something and play some music. That's pretty much it.
Right. Just entertain the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Make them laugh.
Yeah, and you call a few, I knew a lot of people in there, and I'd make a joke about somebody that, one of my friends or something, just do things to throw you a little off, for a record that is gonna come on or something, And of course, most of the people, I had a jam session every Sunday, and I had jam session, I think, twice a month on Friday nights.
Mm-hmm.
And
In the Air Force, or is this after?
yeah, well, in the Air Force.
In the Air Force.
Yeah, but they would fill up. And, we'd have to turn people away. Because it was free.
And it was music, right?
And good music, yeah. Well, I got a lot of stuff from radio stations in America,
Yeah.
And, sometimes I was in America, but I got a lot of records from other sources in radio stations in America. So I had a jam-packed, because it was free.
Yeah.
I'd have turn-away crowds every Sunday and every Friday. So I had Friday nights and Sunday evenings. And they filled the club up. because it didn't cost nothing.
So-
We're gonna hear the latest sounds, and it ain't gonna cost nothing.
Yeah, and it costs nothing. So now I'm kind of curious about your life when you were deployed or in the Air Force, right? So tell me about your training, your initial training. Like you said you dropped out of university and you got drafted, right? So how was the training like?
Oh, it wasn't. Well, see, I was in ROTC at Langston University,
Yeah.
which means that little training in the Air Force didn't bother me.
It was, you're already kind of used to it, right?
Oh yeah, because the Army was a heck of a lot worse than the Air Force. The Air Force was easy.
Do you have any like memorable experiences while in training?
Well, no, other than racial issues, there was a few racial issues that you have, you know. I tell you one story that I had a guy, we was at a nightclub, and I had a guy that come in and says, you guys serve blacks in here? You let him come in, or something like that, you know. You let him come in, and the girl knew who I was, and she says, well, not only that, do you know that he's a world-class boxer and he will probably knock your ass out? And I remember laughing so hard, and I even had him laugh. You got to be shitting me. We're serving for the same country, and you ask a stupid ass question like that.
Right, you guys are on the same team. Right? You guys are on the same team.
Yeah, and I thought he was joking. I thought he was making a joke. But he was serious.
Can't believe it.
But I cracked up, I laughed, and I had him laughing. He started laughing too. Someone in the crowd told him, do you know who he is? He used to be a sparring partner for the heavyweight champ of the world. You know that? And one of the girls said, and he will knock your ass out. And I didn't even know this conversation that went on. And it was so funny. And he said, excuse me, sir.
Sir. That's when you know you got some respect.
Well, it was, like I said, I have a hard time not laughing because I thought it was a joke. He couldn't have been serious because number one, I was in the newspaper all the time. And was on the radio shows all the time, so I thought that everybody knew who I was. And then I DJ'd.
That day,
Yeah.
he knew who you were.
I thought he did. Everybody knew who I was, you know, because I was in the newspaper all the time and I DJ'd. So I thought he knew. I thought it was a joke, you know, because we pulled pranks and jokes. So I thought it was just a joke. Yeah, right. So I laughed about it.
And then he laughed.
Oh, he came to me afterwards, several days afterwards, and apologized. You know, I said, man, you don't have to apologize. Shit. I said, you're in the real world now. I said, we got a little everything here. We got Indians, and blacks, and Mexicans, Chinese, and
that was honorable of him to do that. That was respectable.
Here's the thing. I knew that I could slap him and knock him down. So, I wasn't going to hit him, because that would have been really stupid on my part to do that.
Yeah.
And but he just kept apologizing, I'm so sorry. Look, just learn from what you just done, okay? And you don't need to apologize to me. Just learn and don't be so damn stupid. And I did. He said, I'll never do that again. Yeah, he apologized over and over. He followed me. I never will forget. He followed me out of the club. Man, I'm so sorry.
That's great. You taught him a lesson. Yeah?
Well, I did.
Like a life lesson.
But it was so funny though. He could never apologize enough. And that was the comical part of it. And I said, well, what did you think? He said, you don't know what I thought. That's just, well, don't tell me, because I
don't want to know.
Yeah, don't tell me, because I probably will knock your ass.
That that was a great story. That really
Well, I had a lot of good stories, but you know, my wife was Miss Missouri, and she was pretty blunt.
Yeah. All right, I'm moving on to your deployment. So, do you remember the first place you were deployed?
I'm sorry?
Do you remember the first place you were deployed? Like first base? You were
Oh, I was in the Air Force?
Yeah, in the Air Force, yeah.
First base was Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas.
In Texas. And
That's why you take training,
oh, okay.
basic training.
Yeah, the basic training. You said it didn't bother you, right? Wasn't big.
Well, no, I was 19 to 20 years old. I dropped out of college. And I was at Langston University,
Yeah.
which is all black
Yeah,
college.
all black. So you were at Texas for training.
Well, it was adjustment because you know all I knew was all black colleges. Now, of course, now I'm going to mix. Generally, you know, we had Latinos and American Indians,
Everybody.
and whites, and we had everybody. So, you know, it was a little adjustment. It wasn't much of an adjustment because for some reason I grew up, even though I went to an all-black high school, all-black grade school, all-black high school, and all-black college, I had a lot of white friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So
and
it's good to know different people, right?
Well, it just never made a difference to me. I don't know why. It just never made. And when I
They want me in the restaurant.
yeah, when I met my wife was Miss Missouri, and when I met and carried out and went out and we got married, most people couldn't believe.
I know.
Why would you marry him?
You, like you said, you didn't really see difference, right, between.
Well,
yeah.
Well, you know, it didn't bother, and you know, it didn't bother me. I hit on all, still do.
Yeah.
I hit on all the females, no matter what color they are.
Yeah. So, tell me about the base, like, or after your training, you said you were in Wyoming, and you said where else were you in?
I was in Wyoming and Montana.
Montana.
Yeah.
And anywhere else?
Oh, well, I was in Texas, Texas, California. My favorite place was Lowry Air Force Base in Denver.
Denver. Oh,
Yeah.
tell me about that. How was that experience?
Oh, well, Denver is nobody, as long as you got some green, you know, they don't give a damn what color you. Denver is probably the most liberal state in the union, even today.
I've been there. It's pretty nice.
Yeah,
People
well,
are really nice.
nobody give a damn what color you are if you
Yeah.
got some money.
Yeah, but tell me about like the base itself. Like, what was a typical day for you? Like, just an average day at Denver while you were deployed there.
What do you mean when I work?
Yeah. Like, you said you were in Denver, so tell me like a typical day for you. What did that look like?
Well, I was a purchasing agent
Purchasing
for the
agent.
Air Force.
Right.
And then I became a recruiter. So it was pretty normal, just like you and I sit here, you know, especially as a recruiter. I talked to everybody. I went out to high schools and made presentations. I went to the colleges and made presentations. So that was pretty much normal as a recruiter. Before that, I was a purchasing agent.
So what you do as a purchasing
Agent?
Yeah.
I bought things that the Air Force didn't stock. You know, that was a lot of things. There's a lot of things the Air Force don't have. So
What type of things? I'm kind of curious. What type of things?
Oh, they were just all kinds of things. Well, I know there was all kinds of things you eat, you drink, all kinds of things that the Air Force didn't stop. So I would be a purchasing. I was very good at it.
I bet.
So
you can sweet talk.
the base commander would come to me, my commander would come to me and says, "Sergeant Mayberry, could you get this for me?" Because I knew how to cheat. And you know, most of the colonels and generals are straight laced. They didn't know how to go under the table and
Yeah, to like,
get stuff like I did. So they would come to me, the base commander and colonel would come to me and say, maybe can you, one commander came to me and tells me, I don't want to know how you got it. Can you get this? Yeah.
it's not about the process, it's just about the product.
Oh yeah, yeah, because he knew that I was doing something illegal to get it. Which I was very good at it. I don't know. I just look like to me, I think about it now, I knew everybody illegal. And it was just so easy for me to do it. I don't know. It just, coming from the country, I'm just one of those people that I got a big mouth and I knew everybody. And people laugh at me all the time.
Oh yeah, you're a funny guy.
Oh, well, they did, and they laughed at me just because I married Miss Missouri. And they, well, how did that pretty white girl marry you? Because I got a big mouth, I guess. Yeah, we did just so, I think about that. So many things that I did. That my best friend in the Air Force in 24 years was Paul Harkins, and he was white. Mm-hmm. And I just always laughed. He got in several fights because people would question him being with a black guy.
Wow.
Well, we went to a lot of places, some places down south. Oh, yeah. You did what? You don't? Well, they did with my wife too. They asked her that came. I remember, I used to DJ.
Yeah.
And I remember one time that I used to have turnaway crowds every Sunday and every Friday. And I remember one time that my wife was, I think I showed you a picture of her.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, she was very pretty. She was Miss Missouri.
Yeah.
And I remember one guy grabbed her to dance, and she said, I don't dance with anybody unless they ask my husband. And he said, well, who is your husband? And she pointed to me. That ain't your husband. So she says, that is my husband, and get the hell away from me, So he came up, he says, sir, that ain't your wife, is it? I said, that's my main squeeze. And I pissed my wife off because she heard it. Yeah, that's my main squeeze.
You were quite popular back then.
Well, I was a light heavyweight boxing champ, and I was a DJ. I had a radio station.
That's right.
And so I did a lot of stuff. So, and this wasn't part of the Air Force, but it was in the Air Force.
Right. So you said your best friend in the Air Force was Paul, right?
Huh?
You said your best friend in the Air Force was Paul? Is that his name?
Well, no, I had a lot of good friends, so.
Yeah, so tell me about some of those friendships. Do any of them still, are you still in contact with any of them today?
Yeah, I got several here. Dennis Budell is here, but a lot of them are dead. Jim Warren is dead. I had a lot of friends, but I played ball and I boxed, so I got a whole lot of them. I have no idea what most of the boxers, I don't know where they are. Football players, I don't know where they are. But I coached baseball and football in the Air Force, so I don't know where all those kids are. Wow.
It's like
just thousands, I guess hundreds of them. So
it's like after they retire, everyone just goes different places, right?
Well, that is true too. But just being in the Air Force, you might be in California today and New York tomorrow. So,
oh yeah.
You don't know, and that's just how communications are in the service, because you and I might be good friends here, and I might not ever see you again.
Yeah, people just come and go, right?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Like you told me you were in Wyoming, you were in Montana, California, Texas, you were in Colorado. Were you Alaska?
And then I was there? No, I was never in Alaska. I was in Hawaii. I was in Japan.
Right. So tell me about all these countries. Which countries were you deployed, other than the U.S.?
Which one did I like the best?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Which ones did you like?
England, I suppose. Number one, the girls spoke the same language. They were pretty. Because, see, being in England and Japan and Thailand, we got some very pretty girls in Thailand. But all of them thought that I was going to be rich because I was a boxer. American boxer, oh my God. And
That's
so
their road to fame right there. Road to riches, right?
Well, I got the choice of girls. And people some of my friends used to get mad at me. How come she like him? How come she like you? And cause see, you know, I was in the newspapers all the time with pictures and what have you. So they all knew. And you know, most of those girls want to come to America, number one. And number two, they knew that boxers in America made big bucks.
They were smart. Those girls were smart.
Oh yeah, well of course they do study on America, but it was just so funny because I got some of the prettiest girls you ever seen. You know, I ever show you a picture of my wife?
Yeah, you did. You did for the camera too. You showed it.
Yeah, you know, she was Miss Missouri.
Yeah.
But I think about all that. I had her girlfriend was a run-up in Miss Wyoming. And I think about all the pretty girlfriends that I had. And you know why? Because I was a boxer. They thought I was going to be rich.
Okay, so you were in these different, you said Japan, Vietnam, Thailand, right? Were you in Vietnam also?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it during the war or was it after or was it before?
No, during the war.
During the war. So tell me about
I didn't fight.
Yeah. But like was it any different than like before the war? During the war?
No, I was a purchasing agent. So
yeah.
And I didn't even, we had guns, but we didn't have motors, so I was behind.
Just behind the lines, right?
Yeah.
Kind of the operations, you're like ordering this stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I got all the stuff to fight the war, but I didn't fight.
Did you know any like veterans that actually fought in the war?
Oh yeah. I know a lot of them.
A lot of them, right? So tell me about like how that was.
Well, it's difficult to understand what they went through, because you can't, and it's impossible to understand what they went through unless you go out and do it. And shit, I ain't never had nobody shoot at me. And so it's hard to understand what happened, how were you ducking and how you ducked and where'd you go.
Yeah, you know, I learned about that in history class and it's unbelievable. It's like how many people died just fighting the war.
And the thing is, you think about what a stupid ass war that was. In fact, war is hell and stupid, no matter where and how.
No matter where, any war.
Well, yeah, you think about the Civil War was stupid. The Vietnam War was stupid. World War II was stupid. What did we settle, and what did we cure, and what did we change? Normally, war don't change nothing, but all you do is lose some lives. And got people that's injured that will never be the same.
Did you like witness, were any of your friends like in combat, and then did you notice like a change? Like, Can you tell me something about that?
Yeah, war changes everybody. Of course, and again, you have maturity too, you know, because a lot of people go in as kids at 18 years old. That's the normal age people go in. They go in at 18 years old and they go to a combat area, a zone, and they're 20-some years old. It just makes a tremendous change.
They just come out completely different person.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you see that all the time. And not only that, not only in war, you find that just in the military anyway.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, they mature. you know.
Mature.
You might go in as 17, 18 years old, and you come out at 25, 26, or 27, even 30 something, depending on how long you stay in. And you're a changed person, you know, a very changed person. So, give you an example, especially in the racial area. You know, you got people that come in from the, especially whites, come in from the South. They ain't never been around no Latinos, no blacks, no, and they just ain't never went through that, and just to be around them, you know, I had a good friend of mine named Paul Harkins.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget him, you know, he used to tell me all the time that he was white and he's from California. And he says, how do you deal with all these white, we was in the street, I was stationed in Barksdale in Shreveport, Louisiana. And we couldn't go, he and I couldn't go in the bar together and have a drink. And he would deal with all the fighting. I wouldn't know, I knew what the rules were. So I didn't say nothing. And he'd go in and he would just raise hell and they would throw us out, both of us.
That's an awesome friend though.
Yeah, well, it was, and you know, and then this wasn't intended, but I married Miss Missouri, and she was white, and she had a big mouth. She only weighed 112 pounds, but she had a big mouth. You know who my husband is? He's a light heavyweight champ, and he will knock your ass out as a pack. People got guns. She would say that in a minute. You know who he is? People said, that ain't, you know, I used to DJ too.
Yeah, you did. You already talked about it for.
Yeah, but the point was, I was just saying, my wife was very pretty at number one. She was Miss Missouri. And I would be DJing up here, and people would grab, guys would come up and grab her to dance. And she said, I don't dance with anyone unless they go through my husband. Who is your husband? That's him right there. Oh, that ain't your husband. And she says, honey, would you tell them that I'm your wife? And I said, yeah, that's my main squeeze. That used to piss her off. And that's my girl.
I'm gonna check the camera and I'm gonna ask you a question, so you can keep going. We can keep going. I'm just gonna check the camera really quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, it looks good. All right. So, you told me you never fought directly, right? But did you, like, cause you're in the Air Force? Did you fly a lot of?
No, I never fought.
Did you fly like a lot? Did you? You told me you flew.
No, I was a purchasing agent.
Yeah, but you said you flew a little bit, like flew around.
Oh yeah, I flew a lot of places.
Flew around.
But I wasn't a flight. I didn't have a flying permission.
Oh, okay.
I just flew. I flew to Japan, Vietnam, Turkey, England, Germany. I did a lot of flying because I did a lot of purchasing.
Yeah.
I was a purchasing agent.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars that I spent.
So what's your secret to get like really just know everybody? Cause
well, no, you had to. Well, you know that's what my job was.
Yeah.
That's a Air Force specialty code. You know, you had to learn and know and have a personality that you could deal with people. Because some of that stuff didn't have a price on it.
Just gotta like bargain.
Yeah, you had to in a lot of cases. It just, I don't know, it was something I did. Then of course I became a recruiter. So.
Yeah, right. And they still have those recruiters. Like at my high school, they have recruiters to come every day. And
oh yeah, you had to talk to
a
group of kids, and some of them didn't respect you. So, oh, shut up! I don't want to go in. You don't have to. I don't think we want you either.
Yeah,
you can't imagine how many times I had to say that.
Oh yeah?
I don't want to go in, no, I don't want, because the principal and the teachers would make them you know, it was
Listen
mandatory.
to
You
it,
had
yeah.
to come in and listen. And some of those kids would say, I don't want to go in the military. I don't want you either.
So did you like being a purchase agent more or a recruiter more?
I don't know. I enjoyed I did 22 years in the Air Force, and I think I enjoyed all of it. Recruiting probably was my favorite because I met a lot of people that wasn't attached to the military. I went out to the high schools and the colleges and made presentations.
Yeah.
And I think I like that. But of course, again, I like purchasing too. I was a purchasing agent. I bought things that the Air Force didn't have, and some of it was very expensive. I spent millions of dollars. It wasn't my money. So I don't know. I did 24 years in the Air Force, and I enjoyed it all. I went to England, Germany, France, Japan, Philippines, Vietnam. I had beautiful girlfriends that couldn't speak English, and I could say, shut up, and get away with it.
So I think that was a great answer. And it's just kind of, you gotta enjoy your time, right? Treasure your time in whatever you do, right?
Well, yeah, but you know, I was very fortunate because I was in college, ROTC out at Langston University.
Yeah.
So I knew what the military was like. So
Do you think that definitely helped?
Huh?
That
Oh, yeah.
Helped a lot?
Oh, yeah. Because it wasn't very much they could tell me about dumb things that the military do. So going through basic training, once you get past that, you know, which I know is very short time. Mine was 8 weeks.
8 weeks only?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really short.
Yeah, it's short time. So, I'm sorry, I take that lie back. It was 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
Yeah, 12 weeks, and it's a very short time. But the good thing about it, they sent me to school. I went to college. I got college credits.
For being a purchasing agent, right? They sent you to
yeah,
school
but no,
to learn
No,
that?
I went to college on my own. University of Maryland is a military. They have an agreement with the military.
So
and you get it all over the world.
Did you do that before being stationed? Like get your...
No, you get it anywhere you were stationed. It's available in any place.
Oh, okay.
In the world.
So when did you get your degree? Was it while you were stationed around, or?
Yeah, it was in Colorado.
So after training, right? After the basic training.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
And then they let you go to school after the basic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, in fact, they encourage it,
Yeah.
and they pay for it.
Wow. That's awesome because it means like they have more education. It would help the military a
Well,
lot.
it does. I'm sure you look at it that way, but it's just they prefer not talking to a dummy, rather talk to. No, I was a purchasing agent, so I was handling a lot of millions of bucks, millions of dollars. So they wanted to be fairly knowledgeable because I talked to the base commander, which is a general in most cases. I talked to a lot of generals, and I was one of the few people that could tell a general no.
You got the power of the money, right? You got
Well,
the money.
I think the money.
Not
gave
your
me the
money.
power.
Not your money. Just
Well,
millions.
exactly. Say you say, Sergeant Mayberry, can I buy this? No, sir.
That's like my mom. My
Well,
dad.
it was just so funny. I think about it now, you know, I look back on my life and how powerful I was because I had millions and millions of dollars. And I'm serious, the base commander would call it, send Sergeant Mayberry down. I go down, Sergeant Mayberry, I need to get this. No, sir, we can't buy that. Or I'd say I bought stuff that they didn't know I could buy. I can do this for you. You can? That was so what was so great. I was being being a purchasing agent, I was so powerful. You know, I got away with pretty much anything I wanted to because I had the money.
Yeah, it's like you're not in the front lines, you're kind of sitting back, and then everybody you're like controlling everything. You control everything with the money.
Because they can, Sidon Mayberry, can I buy this? No, sir. Oh, yeah. I can get it for you. Might not be able to get it straight line, but I can get it for you. Which normally I could. I could get illegal stuff underneath the table.
Okay, I have because I'm gonna be an engineering in college, right? So this is kind of my type of question. So did technology and equipment, did you use like any new technology and equipment at that time?
Oh, absolutely.
Like what type of equipment?
Well, in the computers.
Computers, they were,
Yeah.
were they like eye-opening when you started using them?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. But yeah, it was, to me at that time, and well, I won't say to me, but everybody, I suppose, at the time, you know, technology increases and changes every year. You look back, I know you're not very old, but you look back now and think about the advancement you made in your life. You know, there are certain things now you say, wonder how did they live 20 years ago or 15 years ago? And that's what technology and computers are, you know. So how in the hell did you do things today on the computer that it took you 6 months to do 15 years ago?
I know. So did you, like, when you were doing these orders, right? So you were talking to people, were you also just using like a lot of computers, paperwork, computer, or what did you do?
Well, no, I did computer, but I was in the purchasing area. And then of course I was a recruiter.
Yeah.
So yeah, computers was extremely important because that was just such an advancement in our society. What computer does for us, but there was, you know, it reduces the mileage you go, the money you spend, the girls you meet. Just, you know, it's just that little thing you got in your hand is just a tremendous thing.
Oh yeah. Like for me, it's crazy how they can fit a computer inside something so small.
Oh yeah. Look here, I'm behind now because I've been retired so long ago. I'm so far behind, but I just think about how easy things were then, and I handled money, millions of dollars, millions of dollars that I handled money, and the base commander, you know, the big chief that ran the base.
Yeah.
Sidon Mayberry, can I do this? No. I say no to the base commander. No, but I can do it for you, but you can't do it the way you talk.
Yeah, just don't tell anyone about it. Just
well, yeah. Well, he knew that.
Yeah. All right, here's my next question. So, did you ever witness any, like, were there any big emergencies or crises while you were in these, like, stationed? Were there any, like, big emergencies?
Well, that was a lot of emergencies in Vietnam. Number one, there was emergencies in Vietnam.
So, like, did any of them had any of them impacted you? Like, do you remember a time?
I had some friends that get killed that was in the Army. None, I don't remember any in the Air Force then, but in the Army, some of my friends got killed or hurt or injured. But, you know, the Air Force, I don't remember losing. We lost some people in the Air Force, but it was normally in a car accident or something.
Not like a
lot. Not
combat.
In combat, no.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So we're almost out of time. That was pretty quick, wasn't it? So one of these big questions of the club is how did the experience of just being in the Air Force, being in the military, influence your views on duty to our country or service or patriotism?
Well, that's kind of a hard question to answer, but it was a tremendous thing to me. Number one, was raised up very poor, and I happen even today live a very comfortable life because my retirement is very, very big because I was a Master Sergeant.
Paid for by the military, right?
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Defense. But yeah, it was probably one of the best things that happened to me. I went to Langston University, and I was in the ROTC, and I didn't want to go into the Army and shoot at nobody. That was an absolute no-no for me because I was in ROTC. We used to get up every morning and go out and march. And I thought, and still do, that's the stupidest damn thing in the world you can do, get up, So that's why I joined the Air Force. And the Air Force allowed me to travel around. I was in England, Germany, France, Japan, Thailand. I got to see all the things I studied in geography and history. I pretty much got to see a lot of it in person. And it's amazing how those things happen, you know. I had girlfriends, beautiful, beautiful girlfriends that couldn't speak English.
So it's nice to hear, just kind of like that service, it was very important to you, right? It's just big part of, because it was such a big part of your life.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, they still pay me very well. Now, I get a big check every month for the rest of my life. And that part is very important, but I think the places that I've been in England, Germany, France, Japan, Thailand, Vietnam, I don't know, just pretty much all over the world, all over the free world, I should say. And I think that has an impact on me, on who I am, because I've seen people that was extremely poor. I've seen beautiful, I had my friends, even back where I went to school, both high school and college, high as those Japanese girls, they're all the same. They all want some money.
So you just saw a lot of like different experiences from America, right? You said all these poor people.
Yeah, you know, different, especially among the female population, because I was in England, which spoke the same language, but England, Germany, France, and Japan, and Thailand, and females are pretty much the same all over the world. They're no different. They possess it. They want you and nobody else. But I don't know. I just, of course, I lacked. It's probably not. It's easy to understand why you like England because that's who created us. So
Speak the same language, yeah?
yeah, speak the same language. So that part is, I probably like England the best, but I don't know. I think Thailand was my second favorite country. I had just, most girls thought, being a boxer, you know, I think it shows that by being a boxer, they all thought that I was going to be rich.
So tell me about Thailand. Like, how was the city? How was the food, the people? You already went over the people. How was the city?
Fantastic. That's one of my favorite places.
So what about it? Just like the culture or the food? Because I love cities for their food.
The culture, but the big thing I think is just they have I don't know whether that's accurate or not because I have never taken the population, but the girls outnumber the men 5 or 10 to 1. And so, you know, man, I got beautiful, beautiful girlfriends. You know why? Because I was an American. That was the only reason, you know, because they thought all Americans are rich. But I had absolutely gorgeous girlfriend. You couldn't believe some of the pretty girls, because I was a boxer, and they thought American boxers is all going to be rich. So I had a lot of girlfriends.
So we haven't really talked. You mentioned that you're a boxer, but we haven't really talked about your experience as boxer. So tell me about your experience.
Oh, well, I used to be a sparring partner for the heavyweight champ of the world, so that was my greatest experience. I used to beat the shit out of St. Liston, and we used to laugh, and he used to ride home with me. I used to take him home every day. But that was probably my greatest experience, being a sparring partner for the heavyweight champ of the world. But I loved touring the world boxing,
Yeah.
And I had polio when I was 12, and I wasn't supposed to walk without a cane brace on your leg, I think iron brace. And I think that was my greatest accomplishment, was I refused to accept that. And I never will forget that. I got up every night. Nobody knew it. I got up every night and walked.
Yeah, you already talked about that, and you said the doctor said all the power from your legs went to your upper body, right?
Well, yeah, but it was amazing, and I didn't know it then. I was 12 to 13 years old. I had no idea that I was doing the right thing rather than the wrong thing. I thought I was doing wrong, but I refused to, I think I told you this before, but Jackie Robinson was my idol. I wanted to play pro baseball. I wasn't thinking about boxing, but I wanted to play pro baseball. And that's why I got up every night and walked.
So we just have a few minutes left, so
Okay.
thank you that was great. Just kind of your service, hearing about your service. Thank you for your service. And I want to talk about a little bit after you retired. So when did you retire from the Air Force?
Well, I did 22 years. I went in 54, I guess 64, 74, I guess. I got out in 75.
75.
And I became an insurance agent.
Insurance agent.
Allstate.
And after you retired, they asked you where you wanted to go, right?
Oh, no, I went where I wanted to go.
Oh, okay.
Because, my wife was white, so there was only a few places that Colorado was my favorite place. Because they didn't give a damn if you had some green.
Why didn't you go to Colorado? Was it too expensive? Or
No, why didn't I go?
Yeah, why didn't you go to Colorado?
I went.
Oh, you went to Colorado?
Yeah,
So you lived in Colorado before coming here?
yeah.
Oh.
That's my favorite place to live.
Yeah,
But-
you said they didn't care who you were. You had money.
They long you had money. But this is my wife's favorite place. That's why I'm here. Because my wife, she was white and she wanted a tan, and I didn't need one, so. So we had a choice, and she won. Most women do. Where I asked her, where do you want to go? And she's, not only that, my wife and my kids, Arizona. Well, they wanted the swimming pool, my kids did. But my wife wanted the tan. And I said, I don't need no damn tan. But they want out, of course.
The wife always wins, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. And the kids, man, she had the kids backing her up. But no, I ever show you a picture of her? You saw it.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
the
okay. She was Miss Missouri. She was a very, very beautiful lady. But she had a tremendous personality too.
So we'll have more time to go in your book after I stop the camera.
I'm sorry?
We'll have more time to go to look around in your scrapbook after the camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But because we have like 3 minutes left on the camera. So when did you move to Arizona? Do you remember what year?
It was in the 60s, early 60s, 64, I would think, somewhere in there.
64?
It was in the 60s.
But you retired in the 70s? So
Yeah, I went from the Air Force.
Okay.
But I went into the insurance business.
Okay.
And of course, I'm retired from that now. So I did 20 years in both the Air Force and Allstate.
Okay, I see. I see y'all stay everywhere.
Yeah. Well, they hired me while I was in the Air Force, because I was a recruiter, so they know that I had a big mouth.
Oh yeah, you got your word around, right? So, speaking of recruiter, I want to ask one last question. Just looking back, what advice would you give to young people who are considering a career in the military or in the Air Force?
Well, of course, I'm biased, very biased. Go in the Air Force. And the key to it, of course, is there's an aptitude test. There's an aptitude test.
Aptitude test.
And you take the aptitude test, and it pretty much gives you a key of what you can do, what you're qualified to do. And then there, of course, is a physical. Same thing. You know, your eyes, your hearing. There's a lot of factors physically. There's a lot of jobs you can't do because of physical ability or disability. But if there's an aptitude test, administrative, general, electronics, it's 4 fields.
So they're kind of like categories.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you get a 80 and above, you pretty much got your choice. If you choose to choose something,
I see.
you go down to the recruiting office and says, I want to pursue a field in electronics.
I see. So like you're saying, like smart people, like they'll get well, not everybody will get opportunity in the Air Force. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Well, yeah, but see, there's a lot of people that get, for example, there's a drafting. You know, we still draft people, but if you go to the Air Force, everything's volunteer. There is nothing. The Air Force ain't never drafted nobody.
Yeah, it's all volunteers.
Yeah. So if you go to the Air Force and talk to the recruiter, and you take the test, and you score 85 in administrative, general, electronics, you pretty much have a choice. Then, of course, it depends on what the Air Force needs. See, they might not need an aircraft mechanic at this point. And you know, if you want to wait, it might come up later. You know, next 6 months from now, 3 months from now.
So there's like a lot of different fields for people who want to get into it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because there's 280 different career fields. Maybe it's 300. 282 career fields in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And if you get a 85 or above in mechanical, administrative, general, and electronics, you pretty much have, there's physical parts of it too. Part of it's hearing.
Right. But that's some great advice. It's great to let young people know, because you know, young people these days, they want to do different things, but the Air Force has so many different options.
Well,
right?
they do, but also you have to qualify.
Yeah, you have to qualify, but I think just, you know, overall the population's getting smarter, but less and less people are signing up for these, so it's really good for the young people to know.
Well, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I was a recruiter too.
Yeah.
That was my
right.
And it's, I won't say ignorance, but I guess it is. There's so many people, and a lot of them are very intelligent people, that don't understand or don't know what's available in the armed services.
Right.
I was very fortunate myself to do everything that I wanted. I was a purchasing agent.
Right.
I was a recruiter. I got a big mouth.
Yeah, but sorry, I'm gonna have to cut you short. We're a little short on time, but I just gotta say one last thing: is thank you so much for sharing your story, Lee, and we are honored to be able to write this story for you. So thank you.
Very well. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.